All you need is a little green robe on it and you
Hey, he's standing back there for to make sure I don't get it.
No, they're the same size. My hair just makes everything look
Trip has got one ear now.
They look natural on you, actually.
You're happy it's almost over.
Hey, there's no secrets, man. These ears you can hear. I can hear.
We're just wondering how Mike gets out of it again.
Where did he go?
Better be putting some ears
Go for it. Go for it. Yay.
Oh, I'm always too late. There we go.
He dances with me. Everybody else just like walks away quickly and avoids eye contact. There we go. Oh, I am
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead. All right, well, all the big-eared people, come on up here.
I got natural big ears.
All right, come on up here.
Oh, you guys missed me.
Okay, welcome everybody. We're going to go skip down here to the third item here. It says, we want to hear from you. And what this is we're going to do for a period of time, put some suggestion boxes out. And what they are is basically the theme is we want to hear from you. And we truly do. So we want to hear from you as employees. We want to hear from our patients. And so it's that interaction that we want to make it accessible. And the focus is you guys have good ideas, you guys have good questions, and we want to hear from you and we want to act on them. And I think that's the other side. You can have great suggestions, but if we don't do anything about it, then why do you participate and give us ideas? So that's our theme. So on the entrances of the hospital, we're going to have some boxes. And that's what they are. They're suggestions. You don't have to sign your name to it if you can, if you want to, but it's to get input from you, and we want to get the same from the community and our patients. have any questions?
Their ears are falling off.
You're tapping on your ears.
Does anybody out here have any questions they want to ask us? Anybody? I thought you planned to
Why are
question
there
in the
new
audience.
laundry carts?
So what's the deal with the doors? How do I find where my doctor's appointment is?
Ah, good question. So, what have we recently done with the doors? Anybody want to answer that? Chad, what did we do?
We opened them.
Yes.
Numbered them.
Yes, we put numbers on the doors. So if you look at the patient entrances, we started with entrance number 1, which is our main entrance, and went around the hospital. So we have, how many do we have? Russ, like 11, 12?
12 here and
A dozen of them.
12 entrances.
Which entrance is IT?
11.
11.
Everybody goes.
I didn't take very long. Where is entrance 11?
So that was an example of listening to somebody in the community who says, well, I don't know which door to come into, and I want to see my provider or want to have a service done. So we've numbered
So
the
is there a
doors.
magic list somewhere that tells us what door
Should
is
have been
what?
emailed to everybody.
Should have been.
No,
I don't have
I
them.
got one. I got one.
You just went to Chad.
I said I figured it went to everybody. I didn't look at it.
Okay, so we'll have to work on it. We're listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're listening. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else got a question?
Why are there new laundry carts?
Why is there new laundry carts?
And yay for
Anybody want to
them.
answer that question? Trevor.
Trevor.
Yeah, you're laughing.
There are new laundry carts because we have to keep the soiled linens separated from the garbage. And we had the garbage and the soiled linens on the same carts before.
So we were listening to who?
We were listening to housekeepers.
Okay, good. All right. Anybody else got a question? Yes.
We're due for inspection probably sometime
Yeah.
in the near future or whenever.
Okay.
At least they keep saying so.
Yes.
Our hallways in the back with the OR tables and everything and the laundry carts are definitely going to be a gig area. What do we do?
Okay. Where's my country?
That way.
What do we do? You know, we know that if they're on wheels, that they give us some grace period for, you know, as far as if they're on wheels and mobile. If they're not on wheels, you're right, we're in danger of getting cited if we don't have a place for them. So we'll pass that on to Mike. So we heard it. Thank you. Okay. Anybody else? Yes.
Why is there a linen hopper in every patient room?
Ah, okay. Eli knows the answer to that. He's got one in his IT department.
It's in the bathroom. It's so that the loads of laundry would be smaller, and the DPS, the housekeepers, would move their backs carrying big, heavy loads of laundry. So they say.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else?
I hear it's true.
I don't think Pam can talk right now. I think this is Halloween or something. Anybody else got a question? Yes.
Why have we changed our culture?
Why have we changed our culture?
Yes.
Okay. Let me throw that back at you.
Okay.
Why do you think we've changed our culture?
I think because the other one didn't work, whatever it was.
Was it
We were floating.
Okay.
A mixture of everything.
Okay, so I would say, you know, my answer to it is that we're focused on the patient. We need to focus on the community and who we serve. And if there's ways that we can improve our staff in providing better care and more pleasant care, because a lot of the care really is, there's the medical side of care, but there's also the human side of care and how we treat them and their experience. And if we can be better employees and get along better, work better, be happier, and have a positive outlook on life, which you're going to find in this next session, then that should translate to a better experience for the patient. That's my answer to it, but I like what you just said, so thank you. All right, you know, the reason we're here and doing this is because ultimately that's what it is. It's about providing better patient care. How do, you know, patients have choices. They can go to any place, they can go to other hospitals, they can get in their car and go somewhere else. They don't have to have their services here. What we have to do is provide better care than for them to want to even go somewhere else. We want them to come here. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, it really comes back to how we treat other employees, how we treat our patients. Because if we don't do well together in our culture, then our employees see that, and that's when they can say, well, we can go to a different place. We don't have to be here. So that's why we want to listen to you guys. So, all right, thank you guys. You can sit down.
I just have,
Yes.
I have to say this because it's something that I'm thinking here too is, so we're all laughing at Pam, myself included. What if we had a patient that looked like that? How would we, yeah, but what would we do? Would we really sit and laugh at them, or would we treat them with respect? So it just made, just a thought.
Did you want to answer from that?
No.
Tell the
Okay,
patient you're
group
allowed
on
to do
enthusiasm.
All right. So who's enthusiastic? Everybody should be enthusiastic. We're all enthusiastic, and it's a good thing because nothing great ever accomplished without enthusiasm. So we're going to talk a little bit about enthusiasm today. Here we have our enthusiasm house. So the base of enthusiasm is comprised of three things: passion, optimism, and cheerfulness. So we're going to talk a little bit about those, but the pillars are attitude, energy, curiosity, and humor. So all of those pieces make up our enthusiasm house. We're going to talk a little bit about the base here before we get into the pillars. So passion. Who's passionate about what they do? Who's here because they want to be here? Hopefully all of you are passionate about your work. I like that quote there by Audrey Hepburn. So hopefully we can all be as passionate as the Easter Islanders were, get our priorities straight, so that our ruins can someday too be a tourist attraction. So I don't like to read, I won't read what it says up here, so if you want to read what it says, you just have to read it yourselves, so I'm not going to read it for you. Optimism, okay?
That's pretty enthusiastic.
You all know how to read, right? Okay, are you a half full or are you a half empty type of person, you know? Is it a bright sunny day? Did you get up on the wrong side of the bed? You know, I get up on the same side of the bed every morning, so if I'm getting up on the wrong side, it's because I choose for that day to be the wrong side of the bed. What made it different today than yesterday, right? It's the same side every morning. So I couldn't find a good optimism quote, so here's a pessimism one for you. Let's not dwell too much on that. But we want to be optimistic about things. Okay, cheerfulness, smile while you still have teeth. Pam needs to not smile. Okay. Let's not be like our leopard here. It's a dumb look on our face. Okay. So really that's what, you know, being cheerful, all of these things make up enthusiasm. We have to have all of those things to be enthusiastic and to make a difference in our lives. So we talked about, you know, if you have to choose to be enthusiastic, it really is a choice. To do that, you have to control your negative emotions. When you feel the pickles coming on, you know, you have to chop them up and turn them into a sandwich and eat them. You want to stoke those positive emotions, you know, build those up. It is a choice. You can be happy, you can be enthusiastic. We've got a little motivational speaker here for you.
How many of you checking out of a store or in a line at pick it, the DMV, anywhere you want to be, have asked somebody, how are you doing? And when they responded, great, you knew what they were about to say. The average person working in America today tells you they're excited and they're, I'm great, 5 to 10 minutes before they get off. That's what they're about to say, I'm great, I'm about to get off. Think about that energy that they're generating every day, 10 minutes before they get off. I had the experience one time when a checker said that to me, I said, well, wait a minute, stop. What are you doing when you get off? And they said, well, nothing special. And I said, well, where are you going? Well, I'm going home. What are you going to do? I kept drilling because there had to be something extraordinary about to happen. Nobody gets excited 10 minutes before they get off of work to go home and do nothing. That was what I thought. We all know that's not true. The majority of people are come to work, watching the clock, excited to get off every day. I looked at this checker and I said, you're proof we can choose our attitude. Because every day, with no good reason, you get excited at the same time just to get off. Not to do anything significant, do anything that's going to make you happy, just to get out of work. You need to find something you love to do. But even if you do, you're going to have to do things you don't want to do in that. So if you really want to be happy, realize you have that power to choose to be happy 10 minutes before you get off work. So if you can do that, you can choose to be happy going to work and create a different life, create a better environment. You can be that oddball, freak, strange thinker that actually has the better life than the average person who goes to work just to get off. So if you want to be extraordinary, if you want to be, and I beat that to death, but I'm telling you, it's our choice in life. We wake up every day with a choice to be average or mediocre or to be extraordinary, to pursue excellence. That's the choice. That's the defining moment every day. When we choose mediocrity, and a lot of times we don't choose it. A lot of times it overtakes us by default because we're not choosing the obsession with excellence and being our best. And if you don't consciously choose that, then mediocrity will just creep up on you and sneak up on you, and you wake up one day and go, yeah, is this all there is? Is that what my life was about? That little dash on your tombstone at the end, that's your story. What are you going to do with it?
Okay, so, choose to be enthusiastic. We're going to talk about some of the ways that you can be enthusiastic, and there will be a quiz at the end, so pay attention because I'm going to quiz you at the end.
Denise, where are my reports you promised to have me this morning? I have looked everywhere for them. I'm late for a meeting. Please, what did you do?
You know what, Connie, I have got so much on my own plate to do. Why do I need to run your reports? You should just be able to do this yourself.
Oh, fine. I'll just take care of it myself. I won't bother you.
Good morning, Denise. How was your night last night?
It was great.
Good, good. Hey, I don't mean to be a bother or anything, but I was wondering, is there any way that you got those reports done? I have a meeting first thing this morning, and I've just been crazy busy.
You know what, Christy, you're right. I've dropped the ball here. I really just, give me a few minutes. I'll stop what I'm doing right now and take care of it for you and get these for you.
I can go get them too. I mean, I have a few minutes, I suppose. You just let me know if what you're doing is more
Not a
important.
problem. I'll take care of it right now for you.
Thank you so much, Denise. You are wonderful for our staff here. Thank you.
Hey, how many of you have come to work in the morning and felt like that? You've been just frustrated. You've been mad at your husband. You've been mad at your kids. You've had a fight with someone. How many of you have come in and you've taken it out, thrown your keys on the desk, thrown your coat? You know, does that really get us anywhere? Do your co-workers like to see you like that? Isn't it much more pleasant to take a deep breath and come in and approach your co-workers in the way Chrissy did, and happy and have a positive attitude? Positive attitude may not solve all your problems, but it annoys enough people to make it worthwhile. Do you have a positive attitude? We're going to hear from these little second graders about what a positive attitude is.
Do you have a positive attitude? Wow! I feel good. I feel like I would. I feel good. I knew that I wouldn't. So good. So good. I got you. Wow! I feel nice. The sugar was fine. I feel nice. up, he falls down. Being happy even if you have nothing. Being a source of energy that lifts those around. Having a positive attitude towards the future. Smiling. Not complaining when things are unfair. Paying a compliment to a friend. Not looking negatively when you can. Understanding relationships are more important than material things. Tell someone know that they did a great job.
I feel nice. I feel the response. So nice, so nice. I got you. Wow, I feel good.
Being friendly to those you don't know. Making someone's day.
I feel good. I knew that I would. So good, so good. I got you. So good, so good. I got you.
Hey Sarah, can you give us an example of a positive attitude?
Yeah.
How many of you have a positive attitude?
Like Henry Ford said, think you can or think you can't. Either way, you'll be right. A strong, positive mental attitude will create more miracles. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. A strong, positive mental attitude will create more miracles than any wonder drug, than any of our doctors can prescribe you. What an attitude will not do for you. A positive attitude will not make you a trial lawyer or a brain surgeon. Only many years of steady, hard work will do that. But your attitude will profoundly influence your willingness to begin that work, the quality of your efforts in doing the work, and what you do with it once you have finished your work. Here's another little quote here. Positive attitude creates self-fulfilling expectations for success and happiness. Negative attitudes create self-fulfilling expectations of failure and misery. Okay, here is a little story from Kenny Rogers, the greatest.
Little boy in a baseball hat stands in the field with his ball and bat. Says, I am the greatest player of them all. Puts his bat on his shoulder, tosses up his ball. The ball goes up and the ball comes down. Swings his bat all the way around. The world's so still you can hear the sound. The baseball falls to the ground. Now the little boy doesn't say a word, picks up his ball, he is undeterred. Says, I am the greatest there has ever been. He grits his teeth and he tries it again. The ball goes up and the ball comes down, swings his bat all the way around. The world's so still you can hear the sound. The baseball falls to the ground. He makes no excuses, he shows no fear. He just closes his eyes and listens to the cheer. Little boy adjusts his head, picks up his ball, stares at his bat. Says I am the greatest. The game is on the line, and he gives his all one last time. And the ball goes up like the moon so bright, swings his bat with all his might. And the world's as still can be, and the baseball falls. And that's strike three. Now it's supper time, and his mama calls. Little boy starts home with his bat and ball. Says I am the greatest, that is a fact. But even I didn't know I could pitch like that. Says I am the greatest, that is understood. But even I didn't know I could pitch that good.
Attitude is definitely a choice. It's a choice of ours. It's a choice, not everything. Attitude is not everything, but it precedes everything else. Your choice of attitude is the most important choice you will make every day, and you make it many times each day. It defines whether you see friends or enemies, risks or opportunities, the past or the future, the best of times or the worst of times. Is the world a place of risk or a place of abundance and opportunity? Can you influence your own destiny or your future out of control in your hands of others? Are you grateful for the blessings of your life, or are you resentful about what you don't have? Have you answered these questions? How you answer these questions defines your attitude. And because people tend to get what they expect out of life, a positive attitude is one of the most important assets for creating a future filled with blessings and abundance. Making your attitude your greatest asset. Successful people expect to face hurdles. They know that overcoming obstacles is a normal part of life, and they plan it accordingly. They face their challenges instead of fearing them. The longer I live, the more I realize the impact attitude has on life. Attitude to me is more important than facts. It's more important than the past, than education, than money, and than circumstances, than failures, than successes, and what other people think or say or do. It is more important than appearance, giftiness, or skills. The remarkable thing is we have a choice every single day, and regarding the attitude that we will embrace for that day. And I am convinced that life is 10% of what happens to me and 90% of how I react to it.
Hello, how is everybody doing today? Woo! Thank you. I came completely unprepared and out of order. Oh, there we go. All right. We're on. Okay. So the second cornerstone of enthusiasm is energy. My first lesson is how negative energy repels. This is one negative magnet. Nobody can stand him. Nobody wants to be near him. But if he just changes his attitude, everybody wants to be his friend. We all know people who are like the negative magnet, and we all know people who are like the positive magnet. The important part is we have to adjust our attitudes so that people want to be near us. Nobody wants to be near a negative person. So type of energy is important, not inherent. You have to work to be positive. Okay, that got now they're almost inseparable. Thank you. My next experiment is that energy is a choice. So you just got off from a 12-hour shift. Your legs are weak. Your mind is runny. You feel much like this pan of liquid. If one more thing happens, you're likely to splash. But wait, you're tougher than that. You go home, you clean the house, you take care of the kids, you make dinner. You don't splash. You pull energy out of nowhere after that 12-hour shift, and you make it happen. In essence, you expend more energy than you thought you had. That's the beauty of energy. It's always there when you need it. You just have to pull it out and use it so you don't make a splash. That's kind of fun. It's a liquid. Earlier today, just so you know, because I can laugh at my own mistakes, I hadn't mixed it well enough, and I actually did splash people this morning. Moving on. Next point that I shall make is that energy. So, with those forces combined, we have energy. Next. My final experiment will introduce us to strategic laziness. As a standard, I've been told that being a couch potato is bad. Well, I say it's not. I say let's be couch potatoes. Sometimes we need time for reflection and introspection. Sometimes the best thing for us to do is stop, put aside all of those urgent demands, and take time to consider what's important. Think about what matters. And if all goes according to plan, it's supposed to be a battery made out of potatoes. That's supposed to light up, but it doesn't. And so, eureka, a light bulb. You can be a couch potato, but use that time wisely. Reflection and introspection, and then you get the proverbial light bulb, which you all know what that means in cartoons, right? An idea. So, in closing, final page of my colorful notes. So before I let you be, remember which side of the magnet you're on. Do you want to be positive or do you want to be negative? We saw what happens to those around you when you're either. Remember, your energy is a choice. I don't know if it'll splash. It didn't. Further, your energy is renewable. If you tend it, it will fill you. And finally, sometimes you need to be a couch potato to activate your proverbial light bulb. Thank
I have some things. One of them is magic, and so I'm going to do a magic trick for you. I have a looks like a empty soda pop can here, and if any of you saw the trick at the state or the county fair this year, there was a guy doing a trick on this soda pop can, and it was one of those things that made me go So if you can see, this is a empty Coke Diet Pepsi can, and I'm going to make it come back to life, complete with soda. If I look at it hard enough, it'll come all the way back. Maybe not all the way back, but and we have soda. All right, curiosity is a state of active interest or genuinely wanting to know more about something. Curiosity at its core is all about noticing and being drawn to those things that we find interesting. Curiosity opens the mind for learning, and the keys to that gateway are the questions we ask. So, when we were children, curiosity was our primary learning tool. It made us wiggle our toes and watch bugs crawl across the ground. It inspired us to play with rocks and see what colors pink or red and purple would make in the finger paints if we combined them. We explored the boundaries of our environment and our parents' patience. How many parents have been overwhelmed when their children reached the Y stage? However, curiosity seldom continues into adulthood. Somewhere along this learning adventure, many people begin to ignore or repress their curiosity. Why do you think that happens? I need to go there, don't I? I do. Okay. Why do you think that happens? Usually it's because of fearfulness, it's because of discouragement from superior or higher-ups, authority figures, or a bad experience. In fact, many adults have lost touch with the feeling that curiosity brings, that sense of discovery. Instead, we cling to our comfort zones, preferring to stay status quo, rather than bring change and uncertainty into our lives. Sayings like, curiosity killed the cat, demonstrate the apprehension some hold towards curiosity. It's important to note something here, though. It wasn't curiosity itself that killed the cat. It was his inability to deal with the new situation he was in. So curiosity was framed. Ignorance killed the cat. Curiosity has been the driving force behind most inventions, discoveries, and adventures in the history of mankind. What if there was no interest in what lies beyond? There would be no exploration, there would be no Hubble telescope that shows us that beautiful picture over there. If there was no interest in what lies within, we'd never have created microscopes and MRIs. Curiosity found America, the lost Titanic, the Wild West. Curiosity gave us air flight, telephones, computers, cars, dishwashers, etc. The list is endless, and curiosity is the beginning of all of it. Curiosity is the most powerful thing you own, and guess what? Every single one of us are born with it. So what are you curious about? Crop circles? Ghosts? How about Bigfoot? Bermuda Triangle? Okay, how about the equation of energy? Okay, how about the endless and priceless, timeless question of why did the chicken cross the road? Okay, so what purpose does curiosity have when it comes to people? Curiosity in this sense is a stepping stone towards relationships. Think about your spouse. You saw each other across the room and was curious about each other. And then you invested a lot of time and effort into getting to know each other. Being interested creates a desire to learn more about a person, a department, a culture, or a society. Learning about them breaks down barriers and creates understanding between the two parties and understanding their differences. Can you see how curiosity can help us here at Star Valley Medical Center? So cultivating curiosity, if you look at learning as a burden, there's no way you'll ever want to dig deeper into anything. That will just make your burden heavier. But if you think of learning as something fun, you'll naturally want to dig deeper. So look at life through the glasses of fun and excitement and enjoy the learning process. And with all of your little packets there, pages for the all staff, there are some ways that you can look at to maybe increase your curiosity.
All right, so the next one is humor. So those of you who know me might say that I have a big head, but I disagree. It's just big ears. Okay, so humor. Nobody ever really died laughing. All right? There's little success where there's little laughter. So hopefully today's been a success because I've heard a lot of laughter out there. So we're going to talk a little bit more about humor today. So really quickly, I want you to think about what brings you joy and what makes you laugh. So, I'm going to tell you to go and think of as many things as you can, and then I'll tell you to stop. Okay, Mark, say go. All right, time's up. Okay, so there's this quote here. So how many of you can think of more than about 6 or 7? If not, then you're some of these that, being an adult, meant serious, uptight, and grouchy. So hopefully that wasn't you. Hopefully you can think of some more. So to help you laugh, we're going to watch a quick little video here.
Patient has a fractured fibula, given mild sedative, so he'd be able to go in tomorrow.
Daddy's gonna be so excited.
That killed him.
Okay, so what does laughter do for you? It makes you feel good, right? It brings out, it brings out the good feeling. It's hard to frown when you've heard a good joke. People who laugh live longer. So we'll watch another video here. So just some background, this guy has just checked in. He's checking in for his colonoscopy, so that's some good information to know as you're watching this.
C-U-S.
Date of birth?
Why?
What day were you born?
No, I understood the question. Why do you need to know that?
Let's leave it blank. Weight?
Last night or this morning?
You pick.
182 pounds.
Number of alcoholic beverages consumed per week?
Why do you need to know that?
Well, they want to know.
Well, I'm sure they want to know a lot of things, but I don't want my intimate details auctioned off to the highest bidder, willy-nilly.
I'll put 0. Marital status?
Pass.
Profession?
Irrelevant.
Food allergies?
I'm not going to be eating here.
Are you allergic to sticky plaster?
What a ludicrous question. I'm not answering any more of these, really.
Do you smoke?
Stop it.
Do you wear dentures?
Madam, listen.
When was the last time you ate?
Ah, a pertinent question at last. Yesterday lunchtime, thanks for asking, I had a tuna sandwich. Toast was soggy, but...
Did you drink the laxative solution?
Yes.
Did it work?
It was as advertised.
Evaluate your bowels.
I drank copious amounts of drain cleaning fluid. Followed was fait accompli.
Sir, what I'm asking is if you were...
I shat. Again and again. It was like a terrorist attack down there. Screaming, okay?
Fine with me.
Gross invasion of my privacy, this.
Wait till they get you in the back.
So if you have patients like this before calling. So, humor therapy. What is humor therapy? Who's heard of humor therapy? No? Well, it's a real thing that exists. I found this on the CDC's for cancer. This is off the cancer website, so it must be something that exists. So the use of humor for the relief of physical and emotional pain and stress. Okay? And it says even though there's no clinical reference available for it, they found that as people laugh, it releases endorphins, makes them feel better, helps them control pain. So, in a hospital setting, sometimes we get down on ourselves. Patients are sick. There's not a whole lot of laughter coming out of a 6-patient room. But, as it says here, humor can help relieve stress, help people get feeling better, and get them out of the hospital.
Hi.
Oh,
What's your name?
Cameron.
Hi, Cameron. I'm Patch.
I have a cold. Just a minute cold. It's not as weird. Oh, it is. It's weird.
What's that? I don't know.
I don't either. Let's find out. Taxi! Found him. Big kisses. Mind if I sit down? Hello, my baby. Hello.
What is going on here?
So humor, you think about the Florence prescription, the way that little boy with cancer was able to overcome his dragons was with humor, right? Being able to fight those dragons with his pretend sword. So here in a hospital setting, if we keep our enthusiasm up, we approach each day with some humor, we try to make it, we're in can be pretty dire out on the floor. You think about all the problems that people have, but if you dwell on the negative, then your enthusiasm is going to go down and you're just not going to have a positive attitude. So look for ways to smile. It's okay to laugh, even when times are tough. It'll make you feel better. Okay, so here's a quiz. What goes on the bottom here? Remember? Passion, doubt, cheerfulness, the other one? What? Optimism. Optimism. And the pillars. Attitude, energy, curiosity, humor.
We really haven't changed the employment categories, but we have added in there the use of PTO. So basically, if you're an employee and you're in a particular category, that's what you're budgeted for. So if you're a part-time employee, that's what your supervisor has a budget for, is a part-time employee. If you're a full-time employee, you're budgeted for full-time. And so we want to make sure that you're in the appropriate category. So if you're working the hours for full-time, then you should be a full-time employee. With that, we're also looking at PTO usage. So we have nurses who are scheduled 12-hour shifts. So their full-time schedule is 3 shifts a week, which is 36 hours. We have other employees that are working 8 to 5, so their full-time schedule is 40 hours in a work week. So with that in mind, when you use PTO, we want you to use PTO in the amount that you're regularly scheduled. So if you're regularly scheduled as a 40-hour-a-week employee and you ask Mindy to be brought up to your full-time hours, we're going to bring you up to 40 hours. Not only are we going to bring you up, we're just going to do that. We're going to ask your directors to use your PTO to bring you up to the appropriate hours so that you're able to maintain the status that you're budgeted for and that you're in. I don't know if that makes any sense. Do people have questions on that? Is that pretty clear?
So even if we want it or not, your guy's gonna still bring us up?
Yeah, we're gonna bring you up just because we want to make sure you maintain that status and that we keep you there for the benefits or whatever you're eligible for with the status that you're in. So, clear?
What happens if you don't have the PTO?
If you don't have the PTO and you're falling below the hours, we review that on a quarterly basis, and we'll be reviewing that to make sure that you're in the correct status. So if you continue to fall below 36 hours in a pay period and you're a full-time employee, you need to talk to your director and say, okay, is this person really a full-time employee or are they more of a part-time employee? So we'll review that on a quarterly basis and then adjust it as needed.
Well, Trevor, the other component of that is you shouldn't be doing elective time off when you don't have the PTO to take. And that's really what it comes down to, is taking elective time off. I mean, if there's things happening, we understand that, but it's elective.
Yeah. The other thing I want to point out with this is that, you know, if your supervisor calls you off because of low census or whatever, then you can use the PTO, but it's not a requirement to use the PTO. So, okay? Any other questions?
Any new employees?
Yeah, we do have some new employees. Let me, I don't know if any of these people are here today, but if you are, I'd like to welcome you. So Alyssa Miller, she's working as an RN Med-Surg. Candace works, I saw her. Welcome, Candace. Candace is working in utilization review as an RN. Kristen Heiner, surgery ward clerk, and she's here with us. Happy to have her as well. Veronica Lopez Perez, environmental services. Welcome, Veronica. Jonathan Drent, CNA at the Care Center. And Rebecca Hepworth, medical technologist in the lab. So, welcome these people as you see them around. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Also, on the organization update on the OR, we have a new director coming. Her name is Toni Kaiser, and she's coming from Pennsylvania, rural Pennsylvania. And she'll be here about 3 weeks from now. So she's in her transition of moving here. So welcome her when she comes. NP is a nurse practitioner. We're in the process of interviewing for that position. We interviewed somebody last week and we have an interview Friday. But a nurse practitioner that will be in our Thane clinic, primarily focused in Thane, but also will travel to the other clinics as well. OB, we're doing something unique with OB staffing for the deliveries.
Louder.
Louder? Okay, we're doing something for, the uniqueness is we advertise and we're going to hire 2 nurses that will actually do most of the deliveries. And what they will do is they'll be on call every other week. And so regardless of what hour the patient comes in, then they're going to be available to do the deliveries. Also, they're going to do the administrative stuff for OB as well. So we just think this is a better solution than trying to burn our other nurses out, trying to come in for those extended period of time. So they basically will be on call in order to handle the deliveries. So in the process of interviewing and hiring for those positions as well. Physical therapy, Clancy's in the back there, and Clancy's going to be leaving us. And we're all bummed about that. He lost the tug of war and now he's out.
You should have let me win. You should have let me win.
So Clancy, tell us a little bit about where you're doing.
So my family and I are going to be traveling to do some physical therapy. We're going to start in Arizona and we're hoping to go to New Zealand this winter in January.
Say bye-bye.
We wish it's horrible for you, and then you'll want to come back.
Perfect.
Okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, not really. We hope it's a good experience. And last thing there is daily rounds, and the administrative team is now on a daily basis going around to the inpatient patients and visiting with them, seeing if there's anything that we can do from on the administrative end. And actually going very well. Have good communication with the patients, and so we will continue doing that as well. Okay, Becky, looks like you're up with infection prevention.
How many of you have heard of enterovirus D68? Okay, they just wanted me to do a little blurb. So you've noticed that we put up the flu-like illness posters up around the hospital again with a little sign that says nobody under 12. And that's because mostly this is attacking kids. And so we'd rather they weren't around here delivering it to the hospital, I guess. And it does go up to 18, 19 years of age, but we figure by the time they're over 12, they can decide if they're sick enough or not. Let's see. There's still no immunization or antiviral that works for this that they know of, and so we just have to protect ourselves. And of course, we know if you're coughing, you wear a mask. You encourage patients who are walking around to wear a mask, or visitors, and remember to wash your hands more vigorously because alcohol may not kill this bug. Soap and water is what you need to use. So, just remember that. Any questions?
Is there any around here?
On the official website, it said 97 cases in 5 states, but the update I heard was 104 in 10 states. It is in Colorado, and I heard it's in Montana, so I'm sure we're surrounded now. I'm sure we'll get it somehow. I haven't heard any at the facility, and they're not wanting you to test kids that come in for it unless they get super sick. So we may not know. We may have it and not know unless somebody, usually it's kids with asthma, they get it really badly. Hopefully we won't get it really badly in anyone, and we won't even know we've got it. Any other questions?
Thank you, Becky. Board update, just a couple of quick things. We had a board meeting yesterday. We have 6 candidates for board positions, and there's 5 slots. So 5 of the 7 board positions are open, that will be open for this election, and the 5 current board members that are up for re-election are running. So we will at least have 4 of the 5 of those because we have 6 total candidates, and I'd have to say all 6 are great, so we're not going to lose in any way. And they elected not to do any kind of forum, public forum of answering and questions, so they really didn't want to do that, so we're not having that, but there'll probably be some information on each candidate in the paper. Let you know that we have the Wyoming Hospital Association conference next week, and there'll be several board members and staff that are going to that, and the auxiliary also has a group that are going to the Hospital Association. And one of the focuses and one of the presenters actually, it's about kind of looking at if you've got and it was an actual situation of there was an employee that came in with a gun and was shooting in the hospital, and this was in Alaska. And he's going to actually go through, and he's kind of created a course about what to do when you have those kind of incidences, and so we're going to I'll attend that, and then we'll bring back what we do as a facility and try to work on that too. And I think that we very much are exposed. Being a public institution, a facility, we've got people coming in multiple doors into the hospital, and so we need to take that very seriously. And factually, there's more shootings in hospitals than there is in schools. And the schools are the ones getting all the press about it, but actually hospitals is even more of a target, unfortunately. And, the other thing I want to pass on from the board is their appreciation to all of you, for the hard work and going the extra mile for our patients. And, they're getting a lot of positive comments from patients and attributed back to what, the staff are doing, and they're very appreciative of the hard work that each one of you are doing. So. Okay, Chad, looks like you're up.
All right. Give me an M.
Yeah.
Trevor, you didn't suck the enthusiasm out of them. Hey, just to bring you a little update on Meditech. We're meeting bi-weekly as a group of directors and some of your department lead folks in Meditech, and we are meeting bi-weekly and going over some of the issues and concerns that you have. So if you're using Meditech and you have an issue or concern, make sure you share that with your director or the person in your department that is kind of your lead Meditech person, so they can bring it to that meeting. When we first started, we started this probably about May, and we were meeting weekly. And Eli had a spreadsheet up here, and we were adding concerns and not taking anything off. The last couple of months, or the last couple of, probably the last month, 6 weeks, we've been able to take things off of that. We're making progress. And remember, we said it was going to be slow. And so we need to stay enthusiastic. We need to keep the energy flowing. Got to have the right attitude with this. And eventually, we're going to get there. But we need everybody's help with that. Make sure that when you go in and you're doing patient care, that you don't complain or have that bad attitude with Meditech around the patients. They don't need that. You know, if you need to vent, go back out to a coworker and vent to them. And,
or that.
Or me. Yeah. Or Eli. And, but make sure you, when you're venting, or, you know, because we all have to vent sometimes, because we get frustrated. But don't just let it pass. Bring it to your director, Eli, myself, so that we know what the concern is, so we can bring it to the meeting and put it on the list to work it out. Don't forget about that part of it. And then if you learn something, make sure you share it with your coworkers. I mean, I spent months trying to figure out how to download a report that I could input into Excel so I could manipulate it, and I couldn't figure it out. Our Meditech specialist said they didn't know how to do it. But you just keep plugging at it on some of these things. And finally, I figured out there's 2 different areas you can download. One area it won't work, the other area it does. But then when you do that, you have to open it up in Excel first and not just double click on it and have it open up in Excel. I mean, there's some things, and the way you learn that is you practice, you play in it. You know, don't worry about hurting it. We have the test system also, but play in it and learn. When you learn those, make sure you share it with people so that they don't get frustrated. And always try to keep a positive attitude with it. You know, I know you're tired of me saying that, but go Meditech. Thanks.
Mike, you're up.
Morning. Really sorry that I wasn't here to put on my Alfred E. Newman ears. Sorry about that. You all know Alfred E. Newman, Mad Magazine. I want to give you a little bit of an update about our construction and what's going on there. Tomorrow you're going to see some activity right out in front of the front doors of the hospital. We got to dig a sewer line across the north driveway of the horseshoe driveway in the front. We got to put a sewer line in there and connect it to the sewer main in the middle of that little parking lot where it's ER parking, handicap parking. Yeah, so we'd like your cooperation in making sure you park a long ways away from the hospital tomorrow, because we've got to have any parking that's relatively close to the building. We need to have it available for our patients. And this will be tomorrow and Friday. We should have it done by Friday. Hopefully the weather will cooperate for us. And Pam Clement has been kind enough to loan us her golf cart. And we'll man the golf cart and offer patients a ride from wherever they're parked up to the door of the hospital, so they're not having to walk by and through that construction. So we really appreciate Pam and Val doing that for us. And that'll help us provide some assistance to those patients who can't get in. Karen?
What about the ambulances?
The ambulance will still be able to come in on the south driveway up to the doors, but then they'll have to back out because they won't be able to go clear through. So we're going to try and keep that as open as possible so that we've got ambulance capabilities there. And we'll put some signage up tomorrow, and we'll put up barricades and all that kind of thing so people realize they can't come in those driveways. So anyway, I just wanted to be sure you were aware of that. Please pass that along to your coworkers, and you'll notice that tomorrow when it's happening. ER construction is going along very well. By next week, we should be started with the drywall, the sheetrock inside the ER. That's really exciting. That means we've got all of the overhead piping and all of the electrical work and all of the heating is all roughed in. And so that's really going very well. The OR construction is, the new roof over the OR is being built this week. Next week we'll do the fireproofing insulation on the steel structure. And framing will start right soon after that, so the OR's coming along very well. We're working with the OR department right now on the phasing of the construction in the OR, because that's going to be very complicated and be kind of crowded for CS and for OR. And we've got to just really make sure we really coordinate that well so we can stay in business during that construction. So we're working very hard on that. Things seem to be going very well. The Afton Clinic construction, if you've been over there, you can see that that's coming along well. Got the checkout area done, and we're going to be putting some cabinets in here in the next few days that we've been waiting for. We're doing a little bit of a facelift on Dr. Tomlinson's clinic. You know, the maintenance guys were there last night painting on Dr. Tomlinson's clinic. So just lots of activity still going on. Hopefully the weather will hold out for us just a little while longer while we get some of these activities done and taken care of. Any questions about the construction at all? Sarah?
You mentioned that ambulances would stop coming through the front doors in September, I think. When is that?
Yeah, if you'll notice out there, they're doing the kind of the driveway preparation work in front of the ER around by the new OR. As soon as that driveway is installed, we'll be taking the ambulance back there, and I expect that to happen in the next 10 days, 10 business days. But by October 1st, we should be back there with the ambulances. What else did I have on the list to talk about? Okay, that's it. Thank you.
So Pam, I didn't know you were a closet golfer.
Actually, it's a scenic of this beautiful valley in the golf cart.
Okay, all right. Okay, any other questions? I know we're running late. Any questions from anybody?
No questions?
Okay.
Okay.
We do have some events upcoming. We have Dr. Tomlinson's open house on October 1st. We have Break for Breakfast on October 1st, and we have Teddy Bear Clinic next week, Tuesday and Wednesday.
Do you need any more volunteers for Teddy Bear Clinic?
Possibly one more, yeah.
And it's free Tuesday or Wednesday. How could you say?
I think it's on one of those days that I need one more person. I don't remember which
Wonderful.
day.
Okay, front row. Give me a number between 1 and 8. 7. Oh, 7's out. 5's out. 4. 4's out. Kristen, 3's it. Chad was our lucky number 3. Thanks for sitting on the front row. And the 2 gifts today go to Trevor Merritt and Polly Hepworth. Thank you, everybody.
I don't know.
And the cover?
Yeah, they're going
I'll just cut off.
I hope they go a little bit faster. You guys know?
They
Been working all day on
I'm gonna keep my sock here.